Good morning, good evening, good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to Zwift Community Live broadcast of the SCR Winter Series. We are getting into the next series for the winter already with the Swedish Zwift Racing Group. We got Rasan Bahati with us today.
Hello,
the
hello,
racing
hello.
is out on course. How's it going, Rasan? Good to have you here
Good,
from
how are
Zwift
you, Nate?
HQ.
Thanks for having me, Nate.
Yeah, no problem. No problem. Good to have you here. Really, always awesome to have your racing expertise in the house with the Zwift races out here. So SCR's started up again. We're on the first race actually of the series. I'm gonna read through the race rules here real quickly for those of you who are unfamiliar with the SCR series. So the race rules are that you must edit your screen name and put it SCR in it. That's kind of an old school rule. ZwiftPower.com has gotten to the point where they can pick you up if you are a part of the event, but it is nice to put it in there to your name if you are a part of the races. You can see J Meg out of Sweden has done so. Power-ups are disabled in this event module, so you are unable to use power-ups in this race. If you bring power-ups in from your warm-up and use them during the race, you are penalized 60 seconds actually. So don't be using the power-ups during the SCR races. No TT bikes are allowed. Heart rate monitors are compulsory for all categories, so they do definitely keep a tight ship on the SCR series. Power meter and smart trainer winners can take the category. No Z powers can win any of the categories. Z power riders will not be able to take podium places in any category as well. Like we were saying, super tight ship. You need to have registered account with ZwiftPower.com, accepted their terms and conditions to be in the results actually. Categories are as usual. 4.0 watts per kilogram or higher is for the A's, and the B's are 3.2, C 2.5, and then the D's is 2.5 and under. Now this is a points series, so the series is going to go for 12 weeks from January 10th through March 28th actually, and it's going to be, I believe, 15 races then, and your best 12 races will count toward the series, so you can miss 3 of the races. The reigning champion, Kim Little, it'll be interesting to see if he's jumped in here. We do see Matt Johnson from ODZ out there, and I believe he took 2nd overall in the series. Maybe coming back for some more here today for this series here. Maybe looking for a little bit of revenge. Well, maybe not revenge, but just a better placing out there, as I know Kim Little dominated the last time through the series. I'm not seeing the yellow kit though, as Kim Little is holding on to the current leader's jersey in the E-Crit. Actually, is that right here? Is that actually a Team TFC kit? Or is that the yellow jersey?
Looks like a yellow jersey, but it's hard to tell.
I think that's Weitzner, actually. It's actually Weitzner. So our Weitzner are actually out on course here. Yeah. I'm not seeing the current E-Crit leader at this point out on course. So I believe we have a little bit more of an open race maybe without Kim Little showing up, but I bet the front we do see Hodges up there. I believe the cake man himself, that we call him, a little bit of an inside joke. He used to say the cake is a lie. That was one of his names he's used out on Zwift. So good to see Hodges out there hammering away from KRT, taking a little dig at the front. I believe Matt Johnson now coming right on by from ODZ here. One of the favorites, I think, out there to win them without Little out in the house right now. So we do have Twitch chat open. Good to see all of those chatting over there. I do see Martin, actually the race organizer, hanging out over at Twitch right now, as well as Kim Little in there. Unlikely the slacker is not in the house, it looks like. So Kim Little is boycotting as he never got the speedboat delivered for winning the last series, is what he's saying right now. So looking through, we do have social media integration. So for those of you who would like to interact, Mike Davis actually is over there saying, I see you hanging out. Now, I'm hoping that that's just I see you as in, hi, I see you. and not ICU as in like maybe hanging out in the ICU.
Maybe a little bit too much training on the Zwift. Took himself to the ICU.
Yeah. So many big races going on. How does one choose? There are a ton of really big races actually going on. So it is difficult to choose for sure. And I believe we'll probably maybe see Mike out there tomorrow for the crit series, actually, if he is resting up for that. As you can overtrain with how many awesome races are going on out on Zwift. Now, we do have social media integration. If you do want to interact with the broadcast, we can bring in anything that you do. Tweet at us at Z Community Live, at Z Community Live, or if you do bring at us any comments over at the Twitch channel, we are able to, or over at the Facebook, we are able to bring them in there as well. So if you would like to interact with the broadcast, you can do so. You can see, we'll give you a quick little example of how you can do that. Mike with his little bit of misspelling here, but that's fine there. Mike Davis, so many big races going on. How does one choose? So that was over at Facebook, but you can also at Z Community Live over on Twitter. We can bring you right on into the broadcast there as well. So Rasan, things have been busy over at Zwift HQ. The rider's about to head up London Box Hill in a moment here, but there's been an update recently with another hill out on course. I bet you things, a little bit of hustle and bustle going on over there at Zwift headquarters, I would think, in the middle of the Zwift season and some new updates.
Yep, I actually rode the update yesterday with a couple friends of mine in headquarters, so that was pretty fun. I think I was on this loop yesterday and had a really good workout. I wasn't going as fast as these guys are going, but was able to do it in about 50 minutes on a nice chill ride. So they're in for a treat today on this loop.
Yeah, so they are heading, it looks like, up Box Hill, unless there's incorrect. Now, there's a new left-hand turn right there, though, that some people might not be familiar with, that would head toward Leith Hill, I believe. Now, Keith Hill is on the other side, I believe, as well. Now, I might have that totally wrong, and all those who are from the UK and familiar with London, they'd be like, Nathan, no, that's the other way around. I am not completely familiar with the routes yet. I have ridden them once, and I wasn't actually paying full attention during the ride while I was out there riding them, as I was streaming and had some mixes, ups and stuff, but I'm going to get it back out on the course, and I'm actually really enjoying the expansion. I think it's, you know, I have a bias toward country roads, more scenery. A lot of times cities just kind of all look the same. And so I really enjoyed the expansion, actually, from that point of view, that it definitely added something a little bit more than city roads that kind of look the same over and over again. So very cool expansion coming from you guys over at Zwift. So as far as the race goes, though, we do have Evander here up toward the front here. 40, though, haven't seen him out on course in quite a while. 5.5 miles in right now, 6.2 watts per kilogram. He's a TT specialist as well. We've always got these UK boys with these TT specialists out here. And Brett Boniface, though, from ODZ has decided to throw his hat in the ring. So him and Matt Johnson here up toward the front of this race here. This is going to be interesting. Boniface, definitely a super strong rider out on course here. Going to be one to be watching out for. Hodges from the KRT team now trying to follow up 40's wheel, though. And knowing that if 40 does get away, it's going to be a difficult day to bring him back. So I think Hodges here, not wanting to get too much of a gap, definitely want to put a leash on him as he is starting to get away. 166 beats per minute, 5.5 watts per kilogram. Now, not a serious attack. Looks like more of a set it at a threshold and go at this point. But still, now another kick. But if he holds right around that 5.0, to 6 watts per kilogram may be sustainable all the way through the top of the climb here.
It's funny, a lot of times these stronger guys, they can't hold back. They have to push just a little bit to get in their comfort zone. So sometimes I'm in that same scenario where we're going up a hill and it's just a little bit too slow and it makes me uncomfortable. So I just go at a pace that may put me in the front, and people think it's funny because I'm not a climber, but I'm at a pace that's comfortable for me. So it kind of looks like that's what 40's doing right now, just kind of going at a pace that's very comfortable for him, and he's really not using a lot of energy.
Yeah, and I can totally relate to that actually. In the if I find myself on a climb and amongst a bunch of riders that I'm racing with, and we're doing 3 to 4 watts per kilogram or something like that, and I'm like, I know we can go a full watt per kilogram harder. For some reason there's just something about it that I'm not fully comfortable in my mind with the way that we are racing at this point, and I know that others are comfortable, and we need to break this apart, and it looks like that's what we do now. As he kicks into 6-7 though, I think he's really starting to turn the screws here. He sees Boniface coming across to him. Johnson here at 4.8 watts per kilogram, not following just yet. Maybe not going to be responding with his teammate going up the road here. We're seeing Roberts here as well, 401 watts or so, 165 beats per minute. Suveg Jardo here also out of Hungary now, trying to chase that down in that Bicycling Magazine kit. I do believe that is the Hungry team's kit, though, that they have adopted in the game, actually, with the country flag colors, I believe. So good to see them out there representing. Avelsberg also from the Vikings team on the back end of this pack. Chamberlain now as well, just hanging on. Steiger out of Switzerland then with Pinto as well from the PTZ team now, just holding on though. But it is 7 seconds back here with looks like Teselius as well as Activitas and Borg here, 2 seconds back from them. So this is going to be a chase group. I'm not sure they're going to see this front end of this race again. This is going to go out to about 15 seconds as soon as they jump over the top of this climb.
Yeah, already at 9 seconds. That's a good gap going up a climb, and you can already tell the pecking order is set now. So see what happens over the top.
Yeah, and so here we got Rockadot now as well, and the riders who maybe who are sitting in a little bit at this point are starting to use that extra effort to get across to this attack, actually. And Boniface on 40 now at a full 12 seconds. This race already might be over for 2 laps here out on the London Loop now. They're just going to be doing the Spox Hill twice, essentially. They've got the descent down into the underground and then back over toward the start-finish area. And with 15 seconds at this point, it's going to have to be a concerted effort from the chase group at this point to bring back the 3 off the front.
Oh, yeah. If they don't get it together soon, they do have the downhill now where they can really pick up a lot of speed and try to bring these guys back closely. And then you have that, I believe you have that 10% kicker right in the middle of the downhill that surprises you. And that's a good place for someone to launch out of the break. I mean, out of the field to the break. But they have to put out a really, really big effort and hold on the downhill, which is a great place to do it. So we'll see what happens.
At 161 beats per minute, a 607. So they weren't putting everything they've got into these pedals. I know some of these riders can do about a 555 or so, but they aren't kicking into 13 watts per kilogram just yet. You know, if it was a full-on attack, we are seeing 10 here, though, from Boniface here, trying to keep the gap here. We may see a few of these riders start to bring this back, actually, as we are seeing 8 watts per kilogram here from Avelsberg. Petit here as well as Hodges, but nothing into the double digits, though. So I'm not sure they're going to have the same kind of speed up and over the top here. 40 trying to catch Boniface. It looks like Rockadot getting cut out of France here. 155 beats per minute. Hodges, though, now full 18 seconds. And as the gap continues to go out, Boniface is walking away. And I have a feeling they may just allow Boniface to go. I'm going to take a look here real quick. I'm going to log in over at zwiftpower.com and see if he's been able to race on the day if they've worked things out between him and ZwiftPower.com. We'll have to wait and see. And looking through here, we do have a whole lot of comments actually coming through over at the Twitch channel. Good to see everybody hang out over there. And nice stream this week, bro. That's 2 CS Tricks, it looks like there. Kim Little saying 40 destroyed us last week on the jungle loop. If you give him a gap, he just keeps at it. And it looks like he has that gap. And it looks like him and Rocket Out are going to be bringing back Brett Boniface now at this point. Frank the Tank saying, amazing how fast a big, strong group can climb on Box Hill. And it looks like at 130 beats per minute, though, they're going to allow these boys to get away 25 seconds. If they don't close this down on this downhill or the flat, though, I think it's just going to continue to go away from them.
Yeah, it'll be tough for the group to catch this break. I mean, you have 4 guys up there, or is it 5 guys? And it looks like they're all motivated because they're all riding pretty hard right now. Single foul. Everyone's going to the front, taking a chop. And once you get to the flats, it'll be hard to close that gap. The field would literally have to go all out for at least 5 to 10 minutes to bring those guys back at this pace.
Yeah, if they continue at that pace, not sure it's going to happen. Now, we are seeing a few riders start to surge, and that's the thing about in Zwift racing. It's a little bit different, and people are unfamiliar with how that works when it comes to heading to the front of the pack. I've seen a lot of times people head to the front of the pack in order to try and slow it down, right? So they'll head to the front and they'll do 2 watts per kilogram at the front, but what they don't realize a lot of times is just going to the front with any kind of speed in Zwift is like creating an echeloning type situation where you surge the speed at the front. And so it's a little bit different in that respect, that a lot of times you got to just allow the rider on the front end of the group to wear themselves out, bring that wattage, bring that speed down at the front, and then just come around at the pace that you want to be held. 12 seconds now, as you can see here. If they kick again. Go ahead, Rasan. Go ahead, Rasan. Sorry.
No, I was going to say that's a great point. And that's one of the reasons I love Zwift. Is it, even though it's a game and we're having fun and we're getting our exercise on, it's still such a great tool. You learn so much. I think a lot of what you just said can actually translate to the real world on the road. So, like, if some of these guys actually do get into a real bike race on the road, they could see those same scenarios being replayed that they saw in the game through these bike racing. It's phenomenal. And you just made me really excited just by saying what you just said, you know?
Yeah. It's, it definitely, and that's the thing. It definitely has a real world feel in that respect, though, that you can work together with the other riders here, pulling through over and over again. Now, I've done it before, though, and made the mistake, I actually very recently, of going to the front and thinking that by going to the front and then reducing my watts per kilogram, that I'm able to slow the pack down. But the exact opposite thing happened. We were able to bring it back, actually, and was actually giving more speed to the pack than I was wanting to, as my teammate was up ahead there, actually. So
here's a little tip that you could try next time. Instead of just trying to get to the front and slowing them down, what makes the break actually stay established is the surges from the group. So when the group gets steady, they're actually at an advantage, of course, right? Because they're going a steady pace and they can slowly, methodically bring back this break. But if the group is surging, they may bring back 5 seconds, but then when they slow down, they lose another 6. So they do that 15 times. There's, 8.5 seconds, 9 seconds, whatever it may be. So what you want to do is actually throw out a fake attack, make people chase you, and then we settle down. So, yeah, you may bring back 2 or 3 seconds, but then you fall back another 5 seconds. You do that continuously, your break will be nice and steady. That's why when you're in a break, we're always saying steady, steady, because we're at an advantage by being steady.
And so making the attack, that's a great point, actually, that if you are in a situation where you have teammates up the road, the only thing you do is attack hard enough that no one can hold your wheel. And then from there, if they get to your wheel, you slow right on down. immediately and do it again and do it again. If you throw them in the red, everyone's gonna calm right on down, and
right.
it's gonna be a slowed down pack at that point. Now we do have some social media integration coming through from Rowe and King. Actually, for those of you who don't know, as they do head through the lap area for one more lap out on the London course, we do have 3 riders up front. Rocket out right on 40, and Brett Boniface is out there as well. Avesberg from the Vikings team does look like it's settled right on down, and the top 3 has been established. It is up into that 6 watts per kilogram with 40 here, and as chat is saying, the cream has rise to the top of this crop here as these riders are hammering. Johnson, though, here taking a little bit of a note, it looks like, here from our playbook here, and he kicks into 6 watts per kilogram to try and maybe bridge across here. Petit here, 4.0 watts per kilogram. Now, are they going to be consistent? Are they going to be steady? Bring back the ODZ rider, or will 2 ODZs be together up front? They're going to have to slow down maybe a tad bit. I don't think Boniface is going to do any work to allow Johnson to come back, and I have a feeling that Matt has a focus on this series and wants to get across to these riders.
Amazing. Yeah, it's so amazing to watch that these guys probably knew from the start that they were going to go really hard on the climb, and whoever hangs on will be going for the contesting, contesting for the finish. So I kind of feel like the group 2 as a whole said, wait a second, we got to go up this hill 2 times. Let's try to hold back a little bit, but you see what happens when you don't give it your all on the first lap. You lose out, so now the race is between 3 people.
23 seconds, not a whole lot of landscape left to catch before Box Hill. Even if he does catch here, this is a huge match to burn at this point, Rasan, before a climb.
Yeah. Yep, absolutely. You have to hit those climbs with a lot of fresh legs, My rule of thumb was always try to hit it at about 75%. If I was over 75%, there was just no way I was going to make it. Heart rate was going to be too high, watts too low, and then you just fall apart.
He does have 6 seconds here over Hodges, but Hodges here being very consistent on the front here, but I'm not sure he's going to get a whole lot of help from the rest of the riders here. Roberts off the back by 43 seconds. This is not a huge chase group, actually. This pack has been decimated here into 3 or 4 smaller packs. It's been a whole lot of no man's land out here as well. Jay Baller, Avesberger, it looks like a Vander there now in this chase as well. And then it will be Boniface actually off the back of this, waiting up for Johnson actually. Like I said, Matt has a focus here, and Boniface is going to help him out, it looks like, here to try and bring him back. So it is actually some teamwork here between the riders that I do not believe Brett has any focus on this Wednesday SCR series. I might be incorrect about that. It is the first race in the series. Maybe he'll let us know, but I think he's going to help out Matt here to bring back that chase here.
Yeah, so, I mean, to fall back and help someone out is a big feat. Now, they can do it together, just even if there was no drafting or anything going on, just the motivation factor along that. Look, my teammate dropped back for me. He sacrificed his race. Now we have to do it together. I think they may have a chance here to bring them back. 25 seconds, a lot of time to make up. If they go pretty good over the climb, possibly they can close that gap down halfway, but it's still a long way to go.
And look at 40 and Rocket Out. They know exactly what is going on here. 6.8 watts per kilogram. There is no longer going to be a calm in and amongst this front 2 at this point. They know the chase is on. Maybe didn't realize up front what Brett was up to in ODZ now, but at this point, they are not going to be holding up at all. Hodges now, who's been caught out, not getting a whole lot of help from, it looks like Team France maybe in the house a little bit with Petit not chasing down his countrymen here. So Hodges kind of all alone, no KRT riders around him here. Gonna have to chase this down. This has ended up being a very interesting race here with 3 different groups all working against each other amongst 1 minute is the difference between all 3 groups at this point.
It's in Petit's best interest to go ahead with Hodges in case Hodges does go across. He can sit on the whole time. He can say, look, I have a teammate up there, so hey, if you want to chase and get yourself in contention, that's fine, but I'm going to sit right here. And if he does, he has a free ride to the front. And if they catch on, now the next Frenchie is fresh and can go for a better placing.
And look at this though, slows it right on down, comes over the top. Hodges slows right on down as well, and it looks like Petit here may be working though. 5.7 watts per kilogram. Perhaps there is no Countryman teammate going on here. I'm not positive. You know, it's not in the name. He's riding for Makia, it looks like here. And so not positive on the teammates situation there, but we are seeing up toward the front here again. Johnson within 16 seconds of 40, but 40 not slowing down, head down, TT effort at this point from him. Having to pull Rocket Out around the course though, it looks like at this point. It doesn't look like a whole lot of effort there coming from Rocket Out at the front. Now, maybe they are trading though. 40 slowing down. Will Rocket Out come through? That's the question. He does come through, but it's at 4.6 watts per kilogram, 155 beats per minute. So not quite as much of an effort there from him on the front as 40 pushes 5 to 6 watts per kilogram every time they come through. Boniface now still pulling Matt around here. Matt able to sit in on that wheel, 162 beats per minute, and the effort here coming from Boniface. The question is, on the climb, can they make it happen? 2v2v2, Dafford Williams is saying over at the Twitch channel here. So definitely an interesting situation. 7 watts per kilogram again as they head into the underground here. Predictions, will the ODZ be motivated and throw down to catch 40 and Rocket Out on this final climb over the top of Box Hill, Rasan?
Yeah, I think it's possible that 40 and Rocket Out will come back. It all depends on how motivated they are to stay off the front. 14 seconds is coming down now to 13 seconds, so they're kind of twiddling in between 13 and 15 seconds. Again, it's going to come down to, I think, the base of the climb. Watch how both groups attack the base of the climb. I think it'll be a telltale from that point.
Yeah, and the interesting thing here is that 15 is going to come down to about 5 to 10 seconds once they actually hit the climb. They're going to hit the climb. It's going to come down pretty quickly, and Boniface and Johnson are going to get a little bit of motivation, I think, to know that they're right there. They're going to be within their sights here on the climb, I believe. They're right there, right in front of them. And having that physical marker in front of you is so motivating, Rasan, I would think.
Yep, absolutely. Yeah, and I mean, like I said earlier, now you have two teammates chasing two guys for the lead, and just the motivation factor is there because someone has just sacrificed their own result for the better of the team. And so I think these guys are motivated, and I'm going to throw it out there. I'm going to say that they're going to do all right.
So Desmooney is asking over at the Facebook, apologies, I did not swap over to kilometers per hour. It is 28 miles per hour right now. I'm still on the imperial old school silliness. Yeah, it's so thanks for the feedback there. 7 watts at 29 kilometers per hour. No, they're doing more like 40 to 50 kilometers per hour at this moment. A couple of comments coming through here actually over at our Facebook channel actually, and it looks like Keith Hill rocks from Lee Gosden. Will Watopia be updated with a new climb soon? I can just say soon. Rasan might have more information on that, but I'm not sure how much he can actually share. So we might have to keep that on the down low at this moment.
One thing I can say, Lee, is that we're always working on improving the game and adding more add-ons and additions. Because the more people ride Zwift, the more we have to add new scenery. So you can bet your bottom dollar that there will be new expansions going on throughout some of the existing courses that we have. Just when, I'm not able to tell you that.
Right up. But soon, I think soon is a good call there. Another one coming through here from Evan. Oh, and there was a dropout from Brett actually at that moment, and that's going to make things difficult here. It's only 9 seconds though, but they got to close it down pretty quickly if things are going to be happening for a race here to the finish line. Brett keeps on having dropouts, it looks like, though. Matt might be on his lonesome at this point to close this down, but Evan is saying here, yeah, what Mike said. What races are there to watch this week? the Europe Kiss, America Kiss. What else am I missing? Evan, we will be doing the E-Crit tomorrow. We will be having Workout Wednesday today as well. Actually, we do have a tweet from Rowe and King actually coming through here immediately following this broadcast. The Rowe and King Zwift Workout Wednesday, 1945 GMT, which will be live streamed with us here at Zwift Community Live, actually. So if you do want to do Workout Wednesday, you can jump into that with Rowe and King. We also be having Workout Wednesday for the Americas with Greg Henderson at 6 p.m. tonight. We'll be covering the E-Crit as well tomorrow, the European edition as well as the North American edition. We will not be we'll be only covering the East. The West will be covered by the community. CS Tricks usually covers it over on his Twitch channel, as well as a few others live streaming it. So make sure to check that out. On Friday, our schedule is going to be Zwift Community Chat as well. And we're setting up a few guests for that, or at least one guest for sure. It's going to be really interesting. And if you ever want to get in on Zwift Community Chat and you've got some awesome event, you've got a cool story, you've got anything in the community that is of interest, and it doesn't have to be racing related. It doesn't have to be event related, workout related, coach related, whatever it is, tech related. If it's related to Zwift in any way in cycling, it's in the community. We want it on Zwift Community Chat. So last week we had ZwiftInsider.com on with Eric Schlange. The week before we had G. Leo Zwift himself, who's hanging out over at the Twitch channel right now, chatting away, talking game theory and team draft. So that's what's on the schedule for this week. We do have a new schedule graphic coming out for, I believe, next week. That's going to be updated for the next 3 weeks or so. So lots of new stuff, as well as the consistent things that we are covering on the schedule that you'll be able to see ahead of time. It's taken a little while for us to get that going. Apologies to everybody on that, but we definitely will have a schedule coming out for you to see everything that we will be covering here. So Brett Boniface and Matt, it looks like that dropout from Brett has caused this to go out to 20 seconds, and I think the race is over at this point, Rasan. Too many matches burned.
Yeah, it's definitely over. I've been watching the efforts that they're putting out to try to bring the two guys back, and unfortunately, they're pretty much going at the same pace, the same intensity, and there just wasn't enough power there to bring those guys back on the climb, which technically is the only spot they had to close that gap and bring it back down to a manageable time. So
yeah, I mean,
kudos to those guys for giving it a go, but yeah, I think it's a little bit too late.
At 23 seconds, that's going to go out to almost a minute, I think, actually, once they come up over the top here. And so Rocket Out along with 40 here, killing it, 5.6 watts per kilogram. Brett Boniface probably going to deliver Matt there, though, for a third place and grab some solid points. Now, the points in this series, if we look through the race information over here at ZwiftPower.com, it does go out to 10th place. So 25 points for first, 18 for second, 15 for third, 12 for fourth, 10 for fifth. Really drops off after that, 8, 6, 4, 2, and 1 for 10th place. So at third place, you'll still grab a solid 15 points, but 40 and Rockadot here going to grab some 18 and 25, barring any kind of crazy situation that might have a team car involved here at this point. But will Boniface grab that 15 points is the question. Is he going to be involved in the race series? Maybe no love lost here between him and Johnson as he attacks him here at 6.5 watts per kilogram, actually. And perhaps let this teammate know, hey, give a dig here or I'm gone.
Yeah, it just reminded me of a race I did in Philly, up, the Manayunk Wall and whatnot. And there was one year that it was one of the fastest races we had. I think we did the whole race in like 5 hours, 50 minutes or something like that. We broke the 6 hours for the 150 odd miles. And the Colombian team was chasing each other the entire first 2 hours. And when we went out to the bar that night, the director said they're taught to chase each other because if we can catch them, that means they're not going fast enough. So I thought that was so funny. And it just puts a lot of pressure on the team to give it everything. So maybe that's what's going on now. He's like, look, all right, we did the best we can do, and I'm feeling a lot stronger than you, so I'm gonna go. And if you can hold on, come with me. Like Mac Johnson's gonna come back.
Yeah, it looks like he is going to come back. That's a great story. So, any other situations you found yourself in where you had your teammates then chasing you down and it was like, what is going on here? Or vice versa, where you're like,
No.
I just really want to get this W here today and we're going to have to make this chase happen.
I hardly ever was in a position where I had a teammate chase me down because they knew I was the closer. However, I have been in situations where I wished a teammate chased me down because I was up there absolutely suffering and knew that I probably didn't have what it takes to win the race. So I was like, please, please chase me down. Please bring this back. And I would yell to the sideline to random strangers, tell them to chase me. And sometimes that happens. But I have chased teammates down, and in the heat of the moment, they may not understand why, but I understood that, look, there was 3 guys up there that are much faster than you. You're isolated by yourself. So, yeah, that needs to come back. And at the end of the race, we talk about it and they totally understand. So I do pride myself on understanding the race, reading what's going on, and giving our team just the best chance. So I try not to, take away any opportunities from other teammates, but I'm also a believer in giving them an opportunity. And when they blow it, that's their only opportunity.
So looking through here now, a little ways back in the race, 40 and Rocket are gone at this point. Boniface now dropping off Matt, it looks like here. Fading back a little bit, 3 watts per kilogram here. Johnson maybe trying to get back to him, but we do have, it looks like, Petit here along with Alvesberg here trying to get away from Jay Baller. 4 seconds, though, is the difference between them. Baller here, 4.45 watts per kilogram, 180 beats per minute right now. I think it's full-on nuclear mode here up into that 179. He's going to have to put out a huge effort here, but on the downhill, it's always very difficult to bring back those groups for sign. Very much like in real life.
Downhill, huh?
What's that?
That just goes to show you his heart rate. He really went full gas over the climb. I think he'll make it back on. 4 seconds. Where is he now? Still 4 seconds. Yeah, I think he'll hop back on and be in contention for that. I guess a 4th place spot. So good effort by him.
For some reason, I am losing the riders here little by little here. Now, they are just doing these track stands. I've been getting this track stand bug here and there. It's been really interesting where suddenly the rider will just stop in the middle of the road and disappear into another dimension for a moment. It's interesting. I did hear about it from ZHQ, actually, from Johnny was actually talking to me a little bit about it. So at least I think that was from him, but it is definitely like they just stop dead here in fan view mode. Maybe somebody could clip that for us every time it happens. Well, not every time it happens, but here, if somebody could clip that right now, that'd be amazing. Over at the Twitch channel, I could actually clip it actually as it happens. Maybe I can't. For some reason, you cannot clip your own channel over at Twitch, actually. I am logged in as a mod, and do we not have clips turned on over at Swift Community Live? That's interesting. It's not allowing me to clip over there. I'll see if I can fix that, but we are trying to work our way back into the race a little bit and get some more coverage of some of the other riders. Our second feed today had a Windows update in the middle of our load up for the day. So as we're making our way to the line, I'm hoping we're going to be able to catch the sprint for you guys, but it looks like we're going to be in track stands until the finish line here. Hopefully for the E-Crit tomorrow, we don't have track stands all day long here, but Vander here with Petit looks like as well, making the way to the line. It has calmed down a little bit, and we're back into track stands here. So Robert's here, Vander, Avelsberg, and Petit, it looks like. Maybe if we head into the B riders, no, it's still giving us the track stands. It's like we've turned into a trials race, but it's not about racing. It's about standing still and doing track stands and tricks at this point, it looks like, out on course.
Yeah, it was just getting pretty juicy there. So I'm not sure what's going on.
So, Rasan, quick little question here. I'm not sure Rasan's going to have a answer for this one, but it is a nice question actually to come through here, coming from Rod Leach here, saying, Rasan, the top of Leith Keith Hill, there's a segment called New Velodrome coming soon here. Is that true? Now, is that on Strava? I don't think that there's actually a section of course that is.
That may be a Strava thing because I'm not 100% sure.
That's probably just on Strava. I don't think that there's any segment actually in Zwift that says new Velodrome coming soon. Somebody might name a section new Velodrome at the top of the hill, but definitely nothing that I know of a new Velodrome coming. So Rockadout decided to have a little break at the 100-meter to go. Perhaps, no, not actually. We're just getting the track stand here. Him and another rider, we're battling it out. We'll have to wait for ZwiftPower.com for the result here as they do make their way to the line. Frank the Tank says, do we really want to ride in 250-meter ovals on Zwift? I think people actually would. In instanced Zwift, I think there's a misunderstanding of how that could work in a game mode. I think it'd be pretty amazing to actually have a 8-man queued up, man or woman queued up mode where you could race on the track as many times as you'd want to as you queued up for races on a velodrome. I think it'd be really popular actually. Short, repeatable races over and over again.
Yeah, I mean, there's tons of people I know in Southern California that rise the track. I mean, I got my start on the velodrome, so I think having a velodrome course or just having a velodrome, I say, in Zwift would be absolutely amazing. And, you know, we only have time on our side, so I think that will come one of these days.
There goes Avelsberg across the line first, it looks like now. And I'm not first place overall, but first in that sprint. None. I apologize, everybody. We are waiting for this specific bug to get hammered out. It is very new. It's seems to have come with the update to the servers that we saw recently. And so if I'm not exactly sure where it exists and how we can deal with it, but we are getting it for sure here. So now we do have Scott Stad with Pinto here to the line. Looks like Scott Stad is going to get the better of Pinto with Jansen coming across the line. Now Ellis just ahead of it, looks like the rider out of Hungary just barely nicks him at the line, followed by Sorman here in the B category. I think taking the W in the B category, just ahead of Axelsen from Team Sweden there, it looked like there. We'll keep on moving our way backwards here and hopefully get a few more sprints, as I do know there are some people looking for some more coverage of some of the other racers out on course, so we'll see if we can find them. We are seeing D category rider just getting going here, actually, and another rider here in the A category 10 miles in, actually. So Vikings, though, out there with Haagensen now, making his way to the line, about 19 seconds ahead of Januszewski here now, but he's going to be going for one more lap. Magnussen here now as well. Give him a ride on just ahead of Borg now, as Borg is about 9 seconds back. Not going to be able to close that down, it looks like, as Magnussen now from the A category and Team SZ going to get the better of Borg just barely by 10 seconds or so. R. Trump there out of the Netherlands now kicking just ahead of Genestedt now out of France, though. Solid effort here. 8 watts per kilogram. There's a group coming from. I'm not sure, you know.
Oh, yeah.
A lot of times it's about who goes first. If you can get the jump correctly, but he's got to be able to hold on to this kind of effort, though.
Another 200 meters. It sounds short, but it's actually a long way after a hard race. But he's holding above 700 watts, so doing pretty good. 185 beats per minute at 106 revolutions per minute. So, yeah, he did a good kick. That was a nice sprint.
just ahead of Rung and Person. Then it looks like Genestad got caught out, tried going with Borg and or the rider that was just ahead. I'm not sure it was Borg, but the rider that kicked first was able to get the best of everybody else. But I think Genesis suffered for trying to go with him and ended up off the back of the pack there. Trying to move our way through here. And it looks like we are gonna probably need to back off now, as we are going to get into the Team Poland ride here. Look at this. All the in-Gamba kits actually here. There's a looks like French ride here hammering away right now. So good to see out on our next Team Poland ride hammering away in the Gamba kits right now. Lots of riders actually in this group workout. Actually, very cool to see. This might be Team Poland national team actually workout. I wouldn't be surprised actually if that's what the draw is here. We're going to jump into the pens here real quick and see if they will get me out into the event. That did work. And we have some of the finishers from the B category here. Dietrich here now coming across the line. Solid effort from him, followed by Warrington and then Pattinson there as well. You know, coming into these sprint situations, have you gotten on a race out on Zwift recently, Rasan? That's the first thing, you know. I like.
I have not, because every time I get into a Zwift race, I get my butt kicked. So now I just make my own workouts. I do my workouts, and I'm happy with that. But I do plan to do some Zwift races pretty soon.
Yeah, gotcha. Now we do have Vikings coming across the line here, just ahead of the Team Poland rider there. Another Viking just behind there, Tomlinson. Nice job to the Viking team out there getting the better of those riders in the B category. We'll have to wait for the results here to get an idea of what's happening with that. But looking through here, we were able to get a few sprints there for everybody. Sorry about the mix-up there with the watcher bug there, but we do have 40, it looks like, with the W out there, just ahead of Benoit Rakadat. So it looks like he got him by 1 second. The sprint wasn't too close. So solid effort there from 40. Matt Johnson did get the W in the sprint with his teammate. Actually, there was no sprint. Brett Boniface just let him go. So it doesn't look like Brett is focused on the series. Brett was able to take 4th place, followed by Pierre Vidar Avelsberg. And then it will be Andreas Vander there from Team Sarah's there. It looks like Avelsberg there in the A category for Vikings. Looks like Ganzeg Petit there, riding for Makia there. For 7th place, Carl Tiselli is just ahead of Lundqvist from the SCR team there. 9th place there, Mark Roberts for Vision Cycling in 10th. That is going to be your top 10. In the A category, solid results there for Richard Sorman, just ahead of Tony Axelson. They actually sprinted it out on the same second, actually, there, Rasan, right to the line in that B category.
Yeah, you know, these races, you have to try to get in those top 10 spots and consistently get points. And we saw it in the last series. My light keeps going out. We saw it in the last series. It's like it can come down to the very last race of the very last place to determine who's going to get, you know, that last podium spot or that 4th or 5th spot. So kudos to everyone who's racing hard to the line and giving it a go, and looking forward to seeing everyone in the next race.
And a couple more. Let's see here. Can we look back a bit in the race? John Jacobson, I do try to get back as best as I could. Actually, as I did, we did have the bug, though, jump in on us and bite us as we did. So I had to be a little bit more careful with that. A couple more sprints, though, coming to the line, though. So here we go. 24 watts per kilogram. There's a little bit of a bug there, it looks like, with that guy's setup, actually, maybe. But Wald here now with Powell coming to the line. That guy was just locked. 2,000 watts all day long here.
Nice.
Yeah, shown here, coming to the line now, 5.7 watts per kilogram. S. Ba as well, looking down, just getting the better strand. And then Baker, next one across the line. Solid sprints all around for those riders. Matt Johnson saying, thanks, guys. We got Stephen Shoreland saying, recording it. Where do I send the file? Shoreland, Stephen, don't worry about it. We'll be good. If you'd like to, you can send files on over, but will probably be good for now, as ZwiftPower.com does have the results for us all up, and we'll be able to grab those over there. But thank you so much. I do appreciate that, Steven. And if you are streaming, let us know. And if you are looking to get involved in streaming Zwift, you can head on over to our Facebook group. It is Zwift Community-Live Streamers. And we'll be able to grab, get you information about streaming, support, join the group. Lots of streamers in there. Great spot to get information and get involved in the community of streamers. Now, that is for streamers specifically, not the viewership. If you want to share your broadcasts, that's not the space to do it. And make sure to read the pin post if you are joining it, as well as link your streaming channel to us if you do join that group, as it is one of the upfront questions. 41, you can send Kim's speedboat to me, Martin. Johan says, loving all the banter over at the Twitch channel. So next up on Zwift Community Live, Rasan, we've got the Workout Wednesday. You going to join Workout Wednesday? Anybody over at ZHQ?
No Workout Wednesday. No, not today. But I do plan to ride tonight on Zwift, along with an outdoor ride that I'll be doing at noon, because the sun is out after all the rain we got yesterday. And I'll be back on with you tomorrow morning. So looking forward to that.
Sounds good. Sounds good. Excited for that. We'll see you tomorrow then. And thanks for saying. I appreciate you jumping in with us for the SCR Racing Series. And
it's fun. Always fun.
Yep, for sure. Always really great. And if you do want to interact with us, don't forget, you guys, hit that follow button over at our Facebook or Twitch channel. We are trying to grow the Twitch channel. You can catch the VODs over at Zwift Community Live's YouTube as well. And whenever I have Rasan here, open to the questions. You know, real quick, Rasan, you raced bikes or are racing bikes a little bit here and there, I think, coming up. So for how long? I mean, 20, 15 years? 21 years? 21 years of racing bikes. So lots of professional experience to bring into the broadcast here. So you can interact directly with Rasan through the Twitter as well as Facebook channels and the Twitch. We do keep eyes on that. So make sure to take full advantage of that in the community as well. Rasan,
absolutely.
We'll catch you tomorrow. Thanks for tuning in with us. And
have a good day, Nathan.
You too from Zwift HQ over there. So those were Rasan Bahati tuning in with us over at Zwift HQ. Signing off with us. My name is Nathan Garrett, coming at you from Zwift Community Live headquarters. We're gonna be back with the Workout Wednesday here in just about, I believe it is a little less than an hour actually. So make sure to jump on that bike, get your bid-ons ready. We are going to be live with Workout Wednesday with Rowe and King in just under an hour. So again, if you do have any Twitch clips that you are creating from your personal Twitch channel that are some fun moments, make sure to submit them. Jonathan Noblet actually given us a little example about how he's been using Twitch clips and live streaming to show off his examples here. Twitch.tv/Johnny Zwift. He's also doing some cool live streams on his personal channel for all the setups that he has for live streaming. He is the community, he is the live streaming manager for Zwift.
What a guy.
Has a great resource over there on his channel to check out. So make sure to check him out. But if you want promotion of your Twitch channel, make sure to make a clip, submit it to us at Z Community Live on Twitter with Zwift Clips as the hashtag. We'll find it there. You can also email them to me, Nathan, at ZwiftCommunityLive.com, or message me on Facebook. Also, you can join obviously the live streamers group over on Facebook. That's a great place to do that. It is Zwift Community-Live Streamers group. It is pinned at a couple of our live streams as well. We'll make sure to share that up. So thanks everybody for tuning in. We will see you in about an hour for Workout Wednesday. Great job to all the riders coming up tomorrow as well. Don't forget about this. The KISS Crit Series European Men's edition and a men's edition, as well as the women's races all the way through February 22nd. Make sure to jump into those races and tune in for those broadcasts. We'll see you there for those as well. Thanks everybody tuning in. See you in just a little bit for Workout Wednesday.